Daniel, I want this as a CLI. Um, well, it's like a lot of this sounds like it's tightly integrated into into my people. Is that right? Well, okay, okay. We can take. I don't need. I don't. We don't have to. I don't want to. I don't want to sidetrack us. But basically, I want a how to. I want to be able to spin up like Plukus's Domo or Hermes on the Pi and have a how to. And it's like I just want to be able to send my agent or Plow that's currently running on my MacBook Air, and I want to be able to send my agent your how to. And it's like, oh, now my agent has the ability to respond to X. Does that make sense? So you have the how to, or you have the. Okay. I might try to set this up today. But or Plukas, can you try to try this, get this working on your, because I'm traveling and my Raspberry Pi turned it off. Um, could you try dog fooding Daniels? Like I could imagine us launching like five CLIs and Daniel's stuff as one of the CLIs. Sorry, or maybe even one CLI with five capabilities, right? Like on the Raspberry Pi, there's a CLI, and it can respond to X. It can send an iMessage via the CLI. It can search your, maybe there's two CLIs. There's like a messaging CLI, and then there's like a Mac access your Mac CLI. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Daniel's thing. I don't know what it looks like. So okay, so um, I I want to use it. Like I think it's going to be a part. This is going to be whatever this messaging polar is. It's going to be a part of launches in the future, right? And so it being portable and like Lucas, you like you being happy with like the design of this and us open sourcing it. Like I'm expecting us to do all of that in the future. Like I don't want to launch something after these launches. I don't want to launch something without it being interactive. So that means it needs to be. There's just like a portability to it. If it's like kind of like this, like I almost I think we know enough to this is one thing where we're just going to be using it over and over again. Like I could see this being an open source project that we maintain, um, and it could be like we'll be launching it. But even if we don't launch it, we want this stuff here. Okay, so here's another here's okay. So here's another way to think about it. Tomorrow's launch of Domo Product Hunt should be interactive with a Domo instance, right? Like if Daniel's thing is really portable and elegant and easy to use, we should be able to easily turn on Product Hunt, and like you should easily be able to install it on Domo and have Domo running with it where like Domo can like talk to the Product Hunt users. Okay, I think the yeah, I understand that. I think the ask is basically to make Domo interactive on like Product Hunt and like even Daniel's X. Like your Domo should be messaging. Daniel should be running it in his community. Like we should basically launch Domo and make it as interactive as possible when we launch it. However you want to do it. However you want to do it. You could have a Domo running dedicated to setting up people. You could like expose your calendar if you wanted. I imagine you probably don't want to do that, but like I personally am okay like running my family assistant and exposing it and being like, this is my family assistant, you can talk to it. But I think the TLDR is like, um I don't know that Product Hunt. um yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. So the life dashboard, the thing is the life dashboard, I don't know what Jonathan is doing. Like the life dashboard running on the Hermes, right? Um, I would need to, if we're going to use my life dashboard, I would need to get my life dashboard from Plow onto Hermes, you know, and I need a Raspberry Pi, which I have one somewhere, but does that make sense? I'm okay doing it Wednesday with Jonathan's release. Okay, put it another way, what's the argument against exposing these agents and making them interactive when we launch them? Like, why shouldn't we launch? Um, like what the product requirements are or the why? I think I think I don't. I mean, I can answer that, but I think that would almost be like I think that's a decision that whoever's working on this should make. right? Like I think I, I don't know that my answer is the right answer, but thinking from first principles, I think from first principles, like the goal is okay. There's tons of bots right now on these sites like Product Hunt, and so we need to like we need a ton of engagement in order to stand out. One way to get engagement is to make the thing we launch interactive, right? Because so an important part of this is if it's possible in the medium that we're launching, the bot should engage, right? Like if our goal is to get feedback on Product Hunt, the bot should engage in Product Hunt. Like that's basically the only way we have a shot of getting feedback on Product Hunt, meaningful feedback, is the bot engaging, right? Because then Product Hunt's algorithm is going to see all that natural engagement and all those comments, and is going to show us to more people, right? And likewise, if our goal is to get engagement on X, our bot should engage on X, right? If our goal is to get feedback from X users, our bot should, or if our goal is to get feedback from Discord, our bot should engage on Discord. So that's like the first principles of like on the go to market side why we're doing it. And then there's also like a genuine user benefit, which is I see so much stuff. This thing, I never know if it's going to work. This thing clearly works, and it will even install, like one click install it where I can be running it too. Would be on the user benefit side. Um, the one click install, I don't know, but like you can imagine if we were launching, like I said, a workplace assistant. Part of that workplace assistant having a skill of onboarding new users would be a very natural fit into like the launch. Um, Like one option is the Hermes on Raspberry Pi. We could launch that as like a workplace assistant. Hey, we're launching this, you know, um, and and then one of the skills is onboarding. So those are to me the two first principles. One is like the user benefit of like they can understand it and easily use it, and then the other is the go to market launch mechanics. I don't have any opinion about the spec outside of those two. There's an argument that we don't do the self onboarding. We get this just like hacked together and working. We don't actually make it elegant, like I kind of like what I was probing at earlier around like, hey, an elegant CLI that is portable across other agents. But we just get it working. We take the video, we launch it, and it's like a sign up list, you know? Um, right. That would be like that would be the lowest engineering work path, I think. So then you get two of the three boxes. You get the natural engagement lifting your rankings. You get the user being able to experiment and understand what the product is, but you don't get like the easy to download and install box. Yeah, I don't think we've talked about what product, right? But I'm essentially arguing that this is a lens through which we look at the next two launches. Initially, I came into this conversation thinking, Lucas, can you try this out in preparation for future launches, right? But now I'm like, oh, I'm confident enough in this that, and I think the next two launches we can kind of predict how they're going to go, right? We're not going to get a lot of new information from them, right? And we have information that we can act on, right? We have the story from Peter about OpenClaw and launching OpenClaw, right? Like that's really on Discord to his community, and that's when OpenClaw took off, right? We have Daniel, your experiments, right, with your community. Like we have, I think, yeah. So we have, right, right, right. So this is why we've been doing this, right? The last 2 weeks, right? And so there's this moment now where it's like, okay, we can continue doing what we kind of planned on 2 weeks ago, or we can kind of acknowledge, okay, we've learned enough where we can kind of predict what's going to happen here on the default plan. There's this alternative now that we can pursue. And I'm realizing, oh, we don't actually have to wait until Wednesday to pursue this alternative. Like we know enough today to kind of explore this alternative. And so now I'm advocating, Plukas, instead of you doing this in preparation for Wednesday, there's these next two launches, and maybe we shouldn't lose the opportunity with these next two launches to launch them in this different way, or at least one of the two. So one oh, go ahead. So one argument would be to launch Domo as a plow like coworker, and um because Domo right now, there's no, or launch Hermes on the Raspberry Pi, but with the coworker, we have the life dashboard how to, we have a coworker how to, and this coworker can do a couple things. Like I'm investigating memory. I could focus on like the agent's memory, you know, and loading in a ton of context. And maybe initially maybe the coworker engages on our socials to answer questions it thinks it has the answer to, and engages in Discord. You know, like it's a I I I don't know, right? But yeah, if you do that, then though you're juicing the Twitter algorithms, not the product hunt algorithms, right? And so, which is we just have to be explicit about that, you know. There's an there, yeah. There's kind of two arguments not to do product hunt. One is it's overrun by bots. Second is it doesn't have a documented API. You know, so we could pivot away from product hunt. That's fine. Um, yeah, we wouldn't launch on WhatsApp or iMessage though. But um, um, there are other sites though. Like I've been trying to. So there's an AI for that, and there's openalternative.co. Someone was saying Yeah, I don't know. Daniel, I feel like this is a good. Um, okay, well, I think there are three options. One is to, like, let's say on Thursday, launch Hermes on Raspberry Pi how to for like a company bot. So this is sort of like a company bot how to Hermes Raspberry Pi. So it's taking the Life Dashboard, it's taking the Life Dashboard playbook and launching that as a company bot, right? So that's option number one. Is essentially a new how to. We have launched we all have access to this assistant, and everyone in the Discord community has access to it, and um, we use it to manage our team's calendar. We use it, whatever you think the agent can do. We use it to onboard new customers onto Plow. Like it can get you set up with the company bot as well. Okay, that's option number one, which is essentially a new how-to. It's like what Jonathan's doing for the Life Dashboard, right? Option two is like we launch the Life Dashboard but make it interactive. Option three is we launch Domo but make it interactive. Maybe Domo is the company bot. I just don't know, Lucas, how excited you are about Domo versus Hermes. Yeah, 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 yeah. But I don't know. I don't know enough about Domo to be like, oh, Domo is as capable or more capable than Hermes because it's running Claude code underneath it. You know, or but Domo is interesting and like pretty novel. Like it's cool. It's a cool take. So it's what I don't want to do is launch like this like half dead kind of thing that like doesn't really work. You know, if we have an opportunity to launch something that works, I think Domo, all things equal, if Domo is as capable as Hermes, I'd be like, oh, we should do Domo. Oh, you wouldn't do Domo for the company bot assistant. Are you asking me or who are you asking? Well, no, I don't want to. I don't want to do a ton of work, right? There's like what we launch, and then like actually doing a ton of work to like pivot the company to build the AI employee, right? Um, I think that having a skill that allows the agent to interact on whatever medium we're launching on makes sense for all of our launches. As I don't know that we need to block launches for them, but just like as a general rule, that seems to be a cool way to launch things. That's just my first principle. The second is like if we're launching something and we don't yet have a clear like proof of concept, or sorry, a clear like demonstrator use case, like engaging like a company bot seems like a easy enough use case to build. Is this? I feel like I'm like hijacking things or something, or like I'm like messing up. Um, okay. Let's. So okay. So one path would be to scope this down to the minimum amount of work and continue the conversation and focus that I came into this, right, which is like kind of talking about our strengths and um right um and so these two launches are already built. The minimum amount of work would probably be like for tomorrow Daniel getting Domo running and hooking up Product Hunt to Domo. Just seeing if we can like Daniel, you can like get the browser going, can scrape product, can log into Product Hunt, can scrape it, and can respond to messages as like Daniel's Domo. So for like the next 5 hours, Daniel, your goal is just to get Domo running on a Raspberry Pi or on a like Docker container and hook that up to Product Hunt. Yeah, 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 yeah. I um I'm okay launching on Twitter simultaneously. I think it's worth half a day's worth of work though to try to see if we can hook Domo up to Product Hunt. Daniel's Domo. No, I think yeah, it's like Daniel's Domo. Like it has context about how it was set up on a machine. It's like Daniel's an employee at Plow. It's like, hey, for this launch, I just spun up a Domo to help anybody else who wants to try this out. It's going to respond to comments that it thinks it has the answer to. Daniel, what do you think about that? So literally, so I think this should be very doable. You set up Domo on a new OS, you know, and then log into Chrome or Chromium on that OS for Product Hunt, and just have Domo like use those credentials every 5 minutes to see if there are any new comments. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I do think like Swags' Skillshare video. Do you remember that? Yeah, Cama Fox. Yeah, would be one stab at this. Okay, all right. So Daniel, you're down to explore this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think even if it's like it half works, it works on X and not. We'll learn like what it takes to do this. Right, right. Um, okay. Can we quickly just kind of brainstorm strengths? This meeting's gone way too long, but for 5 minutes. Okay, so this is gonna feel like self promotion, but I think our goal is to kind of like brag about ourselves a little bit, and um, and so let me show you what I just wrote out as I was thinking about this, and then I would love to add to this, right, for the two of you. Um, um, okay, so I'm an industry veteran. I'm connected to Tom, founder of GitHub. I'm starting this podcast with guests like Peter Steinberger and Logan Kilpatrick. I have investment from Gary Tan. Um, people. join the token maxing leaderboard to learn from those I'm connected to. All right, so there's something about connections. I have a background in couples counseling, EFT, connected to Jim Cohen, so done a lot of therapy, a lot of research in this space. I have thoughts about AI, faith, Christian intersection. I've helped pivot company to payments. Yeah. We have, so there's like a plow strengths. Let's put this in the plow strengths. Sam, plow. We have the Claude HIPAA compatible LLM infra. Fable doesn't seem like it be released to. An interesting thing is they're not releasing Fable to hit the HIPAA compatible infra, which they're saying is because they need to be able to see the messages in order to make sure people are not misusing Fable. Okay. I run 2 Airbnbs with 5-star ratings. I have interest in off-roading. Published to top off-roading magazine. 3 articles. Sailing. I have a master's in accounting. I've worked with personal admins and have thoughts about how to use iMessage for admin. I've managed a team. Okay. Let's see, Daniel, you have your Brazilian AI community. We have the Watch Me Pivot community. Okay. What am I missing here? Plucas, you pivoted 5 stars to payments via rapid iteration. These could be interests, like, so Daniel, you're like faith AI, right? What else? Okay, Plucas, you have a family. uh On that Instagram post. This is for Watch Me Pivot, 160. Uh, where on the WhatsApp? Okay. Okay. Okay, something like 50 billions of calls. Is that what you said? Okay. That's a big one. Um, mhm. What about interests? What do you all do outside of work that you're I don't know how to pronounce that or spell that, but what kind of exercise? What kind of strength training? Like, is it like CrossFit or like, is there a particular? I don't know enough about training to like. Okay, okay. And what about outdoors? What way? Okay. What kind? What? Like switch? Okay. Okay. Cool. Oh yeah. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, and then Lucas, we have Voyager Labs, right? So we're definitely we have experience from. Okay. Oh, really? Okay, cool. I don't want to use up any more time for meetings. Um, but maybe I'll share this out and we can just like add things to it if anything comes up. Sweet. Okay, so Plukas, you're going to continue like looking at CLI, Max CLI, and like your stand up update is unchanged, is what I'm hearing. Does that sound right? I think help make yeah like like a first step of actually what I would like, regardless of whatever we do, is some sort of agent that is our company agent. So that if you want to like one way to help would be to determine, are we doing Hermes on Pi as a company agent? Are we doing Domo as a company agent? Or are we doing some third party thing that already exists? Okay. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So separate from what Daniel is going to do for Domo, we're going to have a company agent. And why don't you spend, before you commit to Hermes on Pi, just spend 30 minutes like making sure we're not reinventing the wheel. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would just like in a Claude code or a Claude session be like, "Hey, I'm thinking about building this. What existing open source infrastructure is already like very close to what I'm going to set up?" I would just spend a few minutes like looking at what exists in the world. Okay, so honestly, what would be cool is to have a public agent and a private agent. Um, the private agent having context on like everything we're doing, like kind of unfiltered. Um, they could be the same agent if we trust like the agent's ability to be jailbroken, to not be jailbroken. So Plukas, I'm curious, which one do you want to start with? It sounds like you're starting with the public agent. Well, actually, I shouldn't lead the witness because I genuinely think both are really interesting. Well, Daniel's got tomorrow covered with Domo. So which one are you? Yeah, one option is to set up the private agent and then see if we can like expose through a CLI set up the private agent and then see if we can expose it on through a CLI and it's not jailbroken. Like that should be doable, I think, with modern models. Is that we just do one. Yeah, it's like, hey, you're communicating on X. X is public. Like, do not disclose. Or what I'm looking into is memory. Maybe we don't embed memories on X, or we somehow scope the memories that we embed on X. Okay. Well, I guess what I'm saying is like I'm agreeing with you, right? Like I'm saying maybe doing the private thing could, yeah, accomplish both. Okay, sounds good. Will the two of you update your Scrum updates based on this conversation? All right. Um, I think that a Okay, so what were you gonna the CLIs? What capabilities were you looking at? Like, were you most excited about with the Max CLIs? So I want that, and I would be willing to expose that to the Plow company agent. Um, so I'll leave it to you as far as your priorities, but I think that um, you can you can kind of expect that if it's feasible, if we want to launch it. Like, I don't want us to be building bridges to nowhere. Like, I think quick short demos, right? But one demo could be, like, hey, we have a company agent. I've enabled the agent to search my computer. Here's the demo. You can message with the agent. Cool. Sweet. I'm pretty excited about that. All right. Thanks, everyone. See you on Discord. I'm gonna go move my car. I'm gonna go move my car. I'll be back in a little bit. See ya. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, nice to meet you. Oh, cool. Great. Yeah. Thanks for. Hey, you're coming through. Yeah. Same. Yeah. Uh, Olympia, Washington to the Bay Area. Yeah. And I. Oh, really? Congratulations. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was driving through and I was like, I love this place. Why am I not stopping? We literally just bought some camping gear. I mean, I have stuff, but I was like, it's cheaper than a hotel. I'm just gonna buy some gear and a new sleeping bag eventually anyway. Yeah, right. So I'm camping right now, but that's great. Yeah, I like this.
Saiu ou não saiu o 3.5 Pro? Me atualizem aí, galera, se saiu ou não. Já tá no LLM Arena? Nice. Vixe, marquei o cabelo. Tem cabeleireiro. 4:30. Oi. Sabe o processo? Tem alguma API? Ou não? Se não tem, é isso que a gente precisa descobrir. Pesquise para julho de 2027, tá? E aí, senão a gente vai ter que fazer automação com o navegador. Vamos ver essa API aqui. O que eles têm aqui? New product. New notification. New upvote. Eu tô certo nisso aqui? Cara, não sei o que o Sam queria fazer com aquilo. Hum, o ponto não era vender. Mas se a gente vai apostar em alguma coisa, tem muita gente criando software. O que vai ser o nosso diferencial? Uma das opções é trabalhar naquilo que o time é bom. Trabalhar naquilo que o time é bom. O que minha IA trouxe de pesquisa? Fato. Tem alguma API não oficial que suporta responder por comentário? Mas esse 3.5 aí, ele já lançou? Não, né? Você falou que está só no LLM Arena? Ou não? Entendi. O 3.1 é burro comparado ao 3.5 Flash. E o que tá no Arena é o 3.5 Pro. Entendi. Eu lavar a mão pra não engordurar tudo meus componentes. Por exemplo, ele não compila o executável no ambiente de debug. Ele que fez. Já o 3.6 Flash não comete esse erro, mas ele deixa de fazer etapas menores do que eu peço. Complicado. Complicado, né, cara? Complicated. Cara, eu tô atrasado pro meu corte de cabelo. Mas os caras sempre atrasam lá. Se eu for correndão. Não tenho. Vamos trabalhar Vamos trabalhar pelo celular. Vixe, só falta estar sem bateria aqui, né? Eu deixei o celular o tempo todo de monitor da live. Agora eu tô sem bateria. Ah, caramba. Galera, eu não sei se eu vou fechar a live ou vou deixar a live aberta.
Oh. Oh, she got out. He escaped. What what firm do y'all work for? Is it like a real estate firm or kind of
Digital
anyone?
marketing.
Yeah.
So the assumption is so we do a lot of real estate stuff, but we're also contracted through Discover Siskiyou,
Oh,
Pacific
nice.
NASA, SEDC. So
Do how is AI changing things for y'all? Is it?
it's helping us out tons.
Is it really?
Honestly,
Molly.
instead of fighting it, you kind of just have to embrace it and
Uh-huh.
use it as a tool. And you're not using it as the final product. You're just
Uh-huh.
using it to help with the final product.
What is the most helpful thing?
Um, so there's an application called Topaz Upscaler.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I know
amazing.
Topaz. Yeah. For
Topaz
video, I've only used it for photos.
photos and video. Yeah,
Really?
Upscaler, it's amazing. Like so,
Okay.
if we're taking inconsistent like shots where we're using the Sony A7 IV and then we're using a drone that doesn't have as good quality, or we're using a GoPro that's just
Yeah.
it doesn't match the quality. You throw it through Topaz, it's almost seamless.
Interesting. Oh, cool.
Really nice. Or if for whatever reason, we were shooting a real estate video and we didn't pay attention to like a door or a toilet seat up or something like that. You just throw it through AI and tell it to close the toilet seat. Or leaving pretty good for
Hold his frames, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or overlapping. Or
What tool do you use for that? For like the
Higgs
Higgs field? Okay, I've never heard of that.
It's really cool. It's basically this giant platform for all these different AI softwares use.
Yeah.
And so you buy the subscription for Higgsfield, and then you get credits that you can use for like Nano Banana, ChatGPT, and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So it's pretty helpful as like
Yeah.
a home base for all things AI.
Interesting.
Creatives for against the AI.
Yeah. Right.
Product. Like I hate when I see posters or something that
They're obviously
very
AI.
obviously
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
Like it gets me, but you can't. Like you have to embrace it
Yeah.
to some extent.
Right.
Because, it's definitely a tool that should be used and can be used, especially for what we do.
Yeah. Cool. Very interesting. Thanks. Okay. Good girl. Hey y'all.